नमस्कार। द
नमस्कार।
लीगल प्लेटफॉर्म में आपका स्वागत है। आज बात एक ऐसी चिट्ठी की जिसने न्यायपालिका और सियासी हलकों में हलचल मचा दी है। ये चिट्ठी है जगन मोहन रेड्डी, जो आंध्र प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री हैं, उन्होंने लिखी है भारत के चीफ जस्टिस को। और उसमें उन्होंने जो अगले संभावित चीफ जस्टिस हैं, नेक्स्ट इन लाइन जो है, उनके खिलाफ कई आरोप लगाए हैं और तमाम तरीके की बातें कही हैं। इस चिट्ठी को लेके, हालांकि इस चिट्ठी को लेके कई जगह सुप्रीम कोर्ट बार एसोसिएशन ने भी इसका विरोध किया है। ये अलग बात है कि एससीबीए के प्रेसिडेंट उस रिजोल्यूशन से बाहर है, उन्होंने इस रिजोल्यूशन का हिस्सा नहीं बने। सुप्रीम कोर्ट एडवोकेट ऑन रिकॉर्ड एसोसिएशन जो, उसने भी इसको गलत बताया है। और तमाम संगठनों ने, जो न्यायपालिका से जुड़े तमाम संगठन है, वकीलों के संगठन है, उन सब ने इनके क्या कहते हैं, इस चिट्ठी को लेके सवाल खड़े किए हैं। लेकिन एक सवाल यहाँ पे ये खड़ा हो रहा है कि लगातार ऐसे मामले हो रहे हैं जब न्यायपालिका पर सवाल उठने लगे। इससे पहले भी एक मामला हुआ था प्रशांत भूषण का, जो कंटेम्प्ट ऑफ कोर्ट का मामला चला, तब भी सवाल उठे थे। अब ये एक चिट्ठी आ गई जिससे सियासी हलकों में हलचल है। इस पूरे मुद्दे को लेकर हम बात करेंगे गुवाहाटी हाई कोर्ट के पूर्व एक्टिंग चीफ जस्टिस जस्टिस के श्रीधर राव जी से। जस्टिस राव, आपका द लीगल प्लेटफॉर्म में स्वागत है।
थैंक यू।
मैं सबसे पहले यही जानना चाहूंगा कि जगन मोहन रेड्डी, जो आंध्र प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री हैं, उन्होंने जो ये चिट्ठी लिखी है चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया को, इसके एक वैधता, लीगैलिटी तो एक अलग चीज है। मैं जानना चाहूँ ये कितनी अप्रोप्रिएट है ये चिट्ठी, या कितनी इनअप्रोप्रिएट है ये चिट्ठी। मैं सबसे पहले आपसे ये जानना चाहूंगा।
सर, let me make it at the outset very clear. I am not on the correctness or the truthfulness of the allegations or the accusations made in the letter.
Yes.
I would repeat myself only on the procedures and the legality.
Yes.
Legality of the matter. See, here is one gentleman who holds a constitutional position of a chief minister. Other is one, he is almost next CJ to be appointed as CJ. He has made certain allegations, serious allegations against him. Whether propriety requires whether such allegations could be made or not, first that is the question to be answered. Sir, nobody is immune. Rule of law, Article 14. Rule of law and Article 14. If anybody is guilty of misconduct or misbehavior, he is to be scrutinized. For scrutiny, there can't be nobody can prevent the scrutiny of the allegations. Otherwise, it is autocracy. Therefore, we must see what is the procedure to be followed in the matter like this.
Yes.
We have a precedent in Veeraswamy's case. Justice Veeraswamy, he was the Chief Justice of the Tamil Nadu on the Madras High Court, as it was then called, Madras High Court. And then he was on the verge of retirement. Case was registered in somewhere in February 76, something like that, for DA case, disproportionate assets, by CBI registered. And then the matter was investigated, charge sheet was filed somewhere in March. By April he retired. Then he challenged, Veeraswamy challenged the proceeding that Prevention of Corruption Act would not apply, would not cover the judges of the High Court and the Supreme Court. That was his contention. And it impinges upon the independence of the judiciary. The matter landed up in 482 petition, he filed for quashing, it was rejected. The matter landed up in Supreme Court. The 5-bench judge considered the matter. The 4 judges gave an unanimous opinion that the procedure to be followed in a matter like this, keeping in view the independence of judiciary, the President of India, after collecting all the necessary materials, he should place before the CJI, and upon his concurrence or his opinion, he can direct registration of a case and also for sanctioning the prosecution after the completion of the investigation. So the ratio or the procedure laid out in Veeraswamy case shows that it is the President who should make preliminary inquiries on the complaint.
Okay.
It's not proper for the CJI to do that because it's a constitutional bench judgment is there. In that way, I don't agree with the view of Attorney General K.K. Venugopal. because he says the matter is seized by CJI and he can do it. They base their opinion on the basis of in-house inquiry. The very devised method of inquiry has no legal basis. Has no legal basis at all. Because it is on the administrative side, Supreme Court, for its own guidelines, they laid down what are the ethical standards to be maintained by the judges and how a complaint is received. When a complaint is received, how in-house inquiry is to be conducted, all that it's stated. So, but there is no legal basis for that. If you go by the Article 124, in Ravichandran Iyer's case, where Mr. Bhattacharjee, I think Justice Bhattacharjee was the Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, against whom the Bombay High Court Bar Association, they passed a resolution saying that making some allegations of corruption and something like that. When the matter came to the Supreme Court, there also constitutional bench laid down that as far as 124 is concerned, that is the only forum where the conduct of judge could be discussed. Misbehavior or misconduct could be discussed, and no other forum, be it Bar Association or any other forum, they have no jurisdiction. It is only the Parliament procedures as provided in 124. It is to be followed and to be done. So the administrative side, the Supreme Court guidelines of in-house inquiry also will fall flat. It cannot hold water because it is also a forum divided by the court without any legal sanction. Merely on the basis of independence of judiciary, they have laid down, some guidelines have been laid down about the in-house inquiry. And people have got a lot of reservations about the functioning of the in-house inquiry. When complaint is made, if they want, they can take up. Otherwise, no transparency at all there. It goes against the very fundamental principles of rule of law. So, if you go by the principle laid down in the Veeraswamy case, even for a registration of a case, it is the president who should collect material and place before the CJI. Then CJI says he can reject, then president can direct. If CJI says no registration. Similarly, for prosecution, the same thing should follow. So this is my opinion.
Okay.
And now that under this in-house inquiry, the matter is entrusted to CJI himself, and he should decide, and he should appoint a committee. Where is the basis for all these things? If you go by Veeraswamy's case, this is totally against the decision of the Supreme Court, and even Veeraswamy case also, perhaps under the guide of judicial review and independence, they have laid down this. As far as one Justice Verma Saab, he gave a dissenting opinion. He upheld the arguments of Justice Veeraswamy, held that the Prevention of Corruption Act does not apply to the judges of the Supreme Court and High Court. Therefore, no action can be taken. He said appropriate law could be made. That was the opinion expressed. Perhaps in sync with this, it is guidelines in-house inquiry was devised and divided and then laid down by Justice Verma, in sync with this dissenting judgment in Veeraswamy's case.
Okay. सर, इसमें लेकिन एक चीज जो ये कही जा रही है, इस लेटर के टाइमिंग को लेकर एक सवाल उठाया जा रहा है। साथ ही ये भी कहा जा रहा है कि जुडिशरी पे सीधे जिस तरीके से हमला किया है, चाहे वो एक जज पे हो, चाहे वो पूरे सुप्रीम कोर्ट को लेके हो, उसमें कहीं ना कहीं रेड्डी के लिए, जगनमोहन रेड्डी के लिए कहा जा रहा है कि बेहतर क्या ये बेहतर नहीं होता कि वो, चूंकि उनकी पार्टी के एमपीज भी हैं, राज्यसभा में भी है, लोकसभा में भी है, तो अगर वो इम्पीचमेंट की प्रोसेस के थ्रू जाते, उसके जरिए आते, तो ज्यादा बेहतर होता, बजाय कि एक लेटर लिखा गया, उस लेटर को पब्लिक कर दिया गया। तो सबसे बड़ा सवाल उठ रहा कि पब्लिक करने की क्या जरूरत थी?
Sir, one thing, as far as proceeding under Article 124, I don't think they have sufficient numbers, and I don't think they can garner support from the other parties in a matter like this. Nobody wants to rub the other wrong side. This is the handicap Jagannath Reddy perhaps faces. And as far as giving complaint is concerned, he has got every right. Why only Chief Minister? Even any individual, any litigant can give a complaint. Any individual, any litigant can give a complaint. Merely because you hold a judicial Supreme Court judge or High Court judge constitutional position, you are not immune from scrutiny of your conduct. And as far as 124 is concerned, it's only a civil consequence. You are only removed. Supposing if a crime is committed.
Okay.
If you go by the allegations, they are one of the allegations. They say that he influenced the judges with regard to roster and other things. Then it amounts to interference in the judicial administration, it amounts to contempt of court. It's a crime. It's a crime. Therefore, who should do? After all, timing. Merely because timing just before, for 5 or 6 months before he used to be appointed as Chief Justice, can you say that brush aside the correctness of, can you avoid the scrutiny? Can you prevent the scrutiny? Then where is the rule of law? Where is Article 14? Where is the justice? There, nobody, of course, in our constitution, it's only president and governors. During the tenure of their office, no prosecutions can be launched, civil or criminal can be launched. But that is not provided for the judge of a Supreme Court. That is not provided for the judge of a Supreme Court.
Yes.
So timing is irrelevant. It is not a question to be. See, judges, when allegation was made, even Dr. Ambedkar Saab, in his constitutional debate, he says, with regard to the role of judges and functioning of judiciary or the independence, he said judges are not like ordinary men. They have their own failings as an ordinary man. You are not merely because you hold an office, certain virtues are attributed to the office. It does not mean that you have all the virtues. You have to establish, demonstrate that you have the virtues. Merely because it's attributed, you will not become paragon of virtues. You have to, when you have to stand trial, there is nothing wrong. You see, in one case, so I think some Nirmala Yadav or somebody, judge of Punjab High Court, there was Justice Kapadia Saab. After retirement, he granted sanction for prosecution.
जी सर. अच्छा, एक चीज और है सर, जस्टिस राव, एक इससे पहले जो केस हुआ था, एक ट्वीट होता है या 2 ट्वीट होते हैं, उसके ऊपर एक कंटेम्प्ट का केस सुप्रीम कोर्ट सुओ मोटो कॉग्निजेंस लेके एक कंटेम्प्ट का केस शुरू कर देता है. यहाँ पे एक पूरा 7, 8, 10 पन्ने का लेटर लिखा गया, उसमें तमाम आरोप लगाए गए. वो आरोप सही है गलत है वो एक जांच का मुद्दा है, और तब भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट कोई एक्शन उस तरीके से नहीं लेता है, बल्कि ये कहा जाता है, क्या कहते हैं, कि जो उस मामले से जुड़ी प्रोसीडिंग्स है उनको भी पब्लिशिंग, मतलब क्या कहते हैं, मीडिया पे रोक लगा दी जाती कि उससे जुड़े मामले की कोई रिपोर्ट पब्लिश नहीं होगी. ये क्या आपको कहीं नहीं लगता कि 2 अलग अलग क्या कहते हैं विरोधाभास है कि एक जगह तो कंटेम्प्ट ऑफ कोर्ट और यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं होगा?
The secrecy of the complaint is to be maintained. Where is that the secrecy of the complaint is to be maintained? What is wrong if you publish it? It alerts the judiciary to take some action. Some action. To alert the judiciary, because in some cases, perhaps perception is that when complaints are made, they are pushed under the carpet. If they want, they can take action. Otherwise, they don't take action. This is how things happen. So for transparency, merely because timing and that he has published, how do you say that he is wrong? How do you say he commits contempt? Supposing if the contents are found to be true, then how can you hold them it is contempt? Even for contempt also you have to hold a trial, and he will have an opportunity to defend himself, and it is washing the dirty linen in public. In the court proceedings, open proceedings will have to be taken place, and this in-house remedy, people have a lot of reservations about that, and moreover it has legal basis in the constitution. How can conduct of, I think if I remember correctly, Justice Rajendra Babu, he was chief for some time. A petition was filed against Justice Pasai Saab that he included the CBI some in investigation. In that case, the petition was dismissed, saying that it is not a forum to discuss all those things.
Yes.
It is not a forum to discuss, it was dismissed. So when such things are happening, on a judicial side, when court declines to entertain, on its administrative side, by its own guidelines, how can it sustain the procedure of in-house remedy?
बिल्कुल 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 बिल्कुल. अच्छा सर, ये जो इस तरीके के तमाम सवाल आते रहे हैं, जो जुडिशरी में करप्शन को लेकर जिस तरीके के मामले आरोप लगते रहे, क्या आपको नहीं लगता कि इनको लेके कहीं ना कहीं जुडिशरी को अपनी एक जो उनकी जो ईमानदारी, जो उनके भ्रष्टाचारी न होने का जो एक परसेप्शन है, उसको बनाए रखने के लिए भी कदम उठाने पड़ेंगे, ताकि आगे से ऐसे मामले न हो, या अगर आए तो उस पर तुरंत कार्रवाई हो?
Sir, judiciary has to open itself for public scrutiny, sir. It should not live in ivory towers. When
Yes.
if people say rule of law, when parliament, everybody, judicial review is applicable to everyone, not for judges. Supposing,
Yes.
see, grant of sanction or non-sanction by the authority, by the government or the governor, it is justiciable. Here is the same thing. Here also for registration, sanction granted, and it is not justiciable. Where is the rule of law? Should we not see merely because, as I said, judges hold the highest position and they enjoy the lot of trust, immense trust of the and the law, and lot of virtues are attributed to them. Should they not demonstrate that the virtues are justified in a particular case, in every case?
जिसे जिसे कहते हैं कि वो एक कहावत है अंग्रेजी में कि even Caesar's wife should be about suspicion.
Then either not to make applicable that principles. How it is justified?
जस्टिस के श्रीधर राव, आपका द लीगल प्लेटफॉर्म से बात करने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। तो ये थे जस्टिस के श्रीधर राव, जिनका मानना है कि जो ये चिट्ठी लिखी गई है, जो एलिगेशन लगाए गए हैं, उसमें जो कंटेम्प्ट का प्रोसीडिंग का जो के वेणुगोपाल का जो ओपिनियन है, उससे जस्टिस राव इत्तेफाक नहीं रखते हैं। उनका मानना है कि इसमें रूल ऑफ लॉ की बात है, वो सबके लिए बराबर की चीज है और उसके हिसाब से ही काम होना चाहिए। जस्टिस राव, आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। हम जल्दी ही एक नई शख्सियत के साथ एक नए मुद्दे पे आपके सामने फिर हाजिर होंगे। तब तक के लिए नमस्कार।